The Nerf Ultra 2 was released in spring of 2020. The 2 is the first true electronic revolver that is intended for single-hand use. This 2 has been sitting in my collection unused for about a year. When disassembling the 2, be aware that there are 2 wires going from the battery compartment on the left half of the blaster to the flywheels and switches on the right half of the blaster. The 2 uses the Ultra Darts, like all the other blasters in the Ultra series. The Ultra Darts are solid foam instead of the typical hollow tube that has been the standard for so many years. This allows flywheel blasters like the 2 to have a much better grip on the dart for the whole duration that the dart is being accelerated by the flywheels. This also allows the dart to be shifted into the flywheels with a much smaller actuator than in the past. The internals of this blaster are secured better than any other blaster I have taken apart so far. There is a little yellow mechanism that prevents the main trigger from being pulled without the flywheel trigger being pulled, because with this blaster, if the dart is actuated into the barrel without the flywheels active, the dart gets stuck halfway in the barrel and halfway in the revolving cylinder and binds up the whole system. The switch on the side of the flywheels is depressed when the jam door on the left side of the blaster is closed. The flywheels will not rev up when this switch is not being pressed. I guess they didn't want children sticking their fingers into a high-speed flywheel or something. In the future, I would like to upgrade the flywheels and batteries to output more power and fire darts at ludicrous speeds. When reassembling this blaster, make sure your springs are all where they are supposed to be, and I would recommend testing that everything that should move does so before putting every screw in the chassis. When replacing the trigger on this blaster, you must align the teeth that are on the trigger with the teeth that are on the actuator, while the trigger is in the forwardmost position. The cylinder that holds the darts on this blaster returns to its position with relative ease. Something some of you might notice is there are fewer screws than there are screw holes. That is because I lost a screw. I don't know where or when, and I have not reviewed the video. So if it made it into the final cut of this, perhaps someone could tell me in the comments where that screw ended up. I dug out my scale and chronograph to do a little testing that I will continue in all my future videos. The Ultra Darts that I have weigh so little my scale can barely register them, so I put all 5 on and average the weight. My chronograph allows me to set projectile weight and size, and it will auto-calculate how much energy the dart has as it exits the barrel of the blaster. The chronograph recorded 142.3 feet per second. In a perfect world, that should mean this blaster should fire a dart approximately 90 feet when fired parallel to the ground, or if fired at an angle of about 10 degrees, the dart should travel close to 200 feet. If you like this video, please consider subscribing. I release a teardown every Friday at 7 a.m. Pacific. If you have a blaster you want me to tear down, leave a comment and I'll put it in the rotation.